Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. It is National Peanut Month, and here to tell us about it is our friend Jamie Johansen and her lovely daughter.
So, slight correction, National Peanut Butter Lovers Month.
I stand corrected. I told Kelly it was peanuts.
Okay. But it's all close.
I apologize.
And turkey gets a lot of love in November.
It turns into peanut butter.
And it turns into peanut butter. Exactly.
Okay.
That's how you make it, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Lemon into lemonade.
Peanut, yeah, there we go.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So we're going to honor the man who made peanut butter famous and did so much peanut research, and that's George Washington Carver. We visited the museum in Diamond last year.
Oh, well, I think we should take a look then.
Quite possibly a hidden gem in the Ozarks, the George Washington Carver National Monument here in Diamond, Missouri. We're here to learn about Dr. Carver, the agriculturalist and humanitarian.
As a park ranger here at George Washington Carver National Monument, my goal or my job is actually to interpret the story. So I do that through a variety of methods, including guided tours, exhibits, and social media, and so on.
Well, you talked about telling the story, and it's a historical story that kind of puts Diamond, Missouri on the map when it comes to the history and life of George Washington Carver. So briefly give us the historical relevance of this location here in Diamond.
Well, the location, the national park is located here in Diamond because this land is the birthplace and childhood home of George Washington Carver. So the man who grew up to become the famous educator and scientist, the great humanitarian, actually began his life here on this land in slavery during the Civil War. So he basically rose from, such humble beginnings and difficult times to becoming world known.
So let's talk about him in an adult life. What led him to know that science and educating others and educating himself was so important?
Well, as a child in Missouri, he was called the plant doctor, so he already had a talent for working with plants. When he went to college in the beginning, he was focusing on art, and he really he focused on botanical drawings. And between his thoughts about what his purpose in life was and the advice of one of his advisors there at the school, he changed his major to agriculture. So he also changed his school, so now he's a student at Iowa State College in Ames, Iowa. And he believed that by changing to agriculture, he could be of greater help to his fellow African Americans. When he graduated with his master's in agriculture in 1896, he had been recruited by Booker T. Washington to come to Alabama. Tuskegee Institute was the school that had recently been founded, and they needed a director of agriculture, their brand new agriculture department. And so Mr. Carver became the director of agriculture at Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. And that began basically a 47-year life's work in agriculture in many different facets. He wrote agricultural bulletins. He taught farmers who oftentimes were illiterate, taught them things like better soil, building up your soils, better natural fertilizers, how to can and preserve your food, and this would be more for the housewives or the homemakers. He helped outfit the Jessup wagon, which was a traveling school that went out to the towns, to the farm families who couldn't come to Tuskegee Institute. So he also was on the lecture circuit. So George Washington Carver traveled a lot and became a lecturer and talked very much about agriculture and the interconnectedness of all things.
Education is a key component in his life, but that's what you do here every single day, 365 days out of the year. Here is educate young students coming through, whether they're coming on a field trip or they're here with their families. Take us through the educational components that you guys get to instill in young people all the time.
Education programs are very important here, a key part of what we do, and interesting you would say a key component of his life. He actually told Booker T. Washington in 1896, part of his sentence to him was, "Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom for our people." So that was part of his answer to take the new job at Tuskegee Institute. And even up to this moment today, education is a key part of what we do at this national park. Visitors are here all the time on their own, but our guided field trip programs are amazing. We serve about 10,000 students a year on-site field trips, and they take a guided tour where the ranger tells them the life story of Mr. Carver. They go in the science lab and they get to do a hands-on experiment using peanuts or sweet potatoes. They also get free time in our museum exhibits, and so that's really fun. But we do more. We do traveling trunks. We do distance learning or video conferences for long-distance students. We go to classrooms and talk to kids. We have education materials that we loan out. We have a great website with education components on it, and we even have a teacher workshop coming up this July. So we do a lot.
Well, hi there, Extra.
We're back.
That's a tease for what's coming up in a minute.
That's right. Don't
There
you
we
go anywhere. All right, Jamie. So
Dr. George Washington Carver was an agriculturalist and a philanthropist. So today we're going to talk about his role in agriculture. And he made, now a lot of people think that he invented peanut butter. He did not invent peanut butter, but he made it popular. He actually published a book in 1916 talking about human consumption of the peanuts and how there was like over 105 different ways you could use peanut butter, whether peanuts, shampoo, mayonnaise, paints, because of the oil base in there.
Yes.
So we are going to honor peanut butter and peanut butter lovers and George Washington Carver and make a bird feeder. So Harper didn't have school today, and so she came to help us out. And so we're going to take peanut butter and take our pine cones and wrap it in peanut butter and then roll it in sunflower seeds or any type of
So if you just,
bird
like,
seed.
I do have a bag of bird seed that I feed the birds with in my garage, so I could just use that same bird seed.
And this time of year is great to feed our birds because there's less food for them. So in the winter months, this is a great protein, not just for us, as peanut butter is, but for
Can I ask
the
a stupid
birds.
question, Jamie
Absolutely.
Johansen, hosted from the tailgate? Does the peanut butter not get stuck in the bird's beak? Like, I would think, you know how I get peanut butter stuck in the roof of my mouth?
And then they need a drink.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
I bet they take small enough bites.
Okay, good
But there is
answer.
one thing to remember. If you guys are making these at home, these are super simple. I went in my backyard. I got pine cones.
Yeah.
But when you're tying them outside, use twine or yarn or something. If you use
you don't want to use fishing wire.
no fishing wire or thread because it's too small and it could hurt the birds.
Yes.
So
Good
use,
call.
so this is baling twine, the crafting baling twine. That works perfect.
You know what? I got a really dense pine cone. There's a lot of holes in it, so it's like...
You might want to switch to another one.
That's okay.
Yes, Jeremy's ahead of you.
I've already
Well,
started.
I only did the bottom half because I was trying to get my fingers dirty.
I've already
Like
started, so I'm going to keep going here.
But
So
look
when
how
it
pretty
comes
that is.
to agriculture, George Washington Carver, he was the first to popularize crop rotations. So if you drive down the field, you might see one year there's corn and one year there's soybeans in fields. So why do you know why they do that?
No.
Sorry, I was going to
Okay, are
pretend
you
to eat
hungry?
it. Yeah, I was a little hungry. It looks
Why
really
do they
good.
do that?
Yeah, why?
Because it adds nutrients back into the soil. So different crops add nutrients. So peanuts rotate with cotton really well because they add different nutrients back into the soil. So a few weeks ago, well, back in September, we actually did peanut harvest down in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and that aired on From the Tailgate just a few weeks ago. But it's fascinating how Missouri is now growing peanuts.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that we're doing that.
And you know
love
what I find funny too? When I worked on the cruise ship, Jamie, with a lot of international people from like England, Australia, Canada, they don't love peanut butter as much as Americans do.
It is our
It's a very
protein.
American
Is that right?
thing. Yes, they. Oh my gosh! Like I would always be like peanut butter this, peanut butter that. They do not like.
We
peanut butter.
We eat it plain, but we also put it in everything.
Everything.
I
yeah.
put it in protein shakes.
Oh, it's awesome. Did you know that when was peanut butter first introduced to the public?
1812.
Earlier.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
1893 at the...
World's Fair.
Yep.
I just guessed that because everything's at the World's Fair back
there
then.
you go.
The
I
World's Fair.
guessed. Everything was the World's Fair back then.
This pine cone's going to take the whole rest of this peanut butter
We got
jar.
plenty
Do
of
it.
peanut butter.
Do it.
Your birds are going to be real happy.
They're
at
going to be
home.
real
They're
happy.
gonna be full.
Jeremy, can you just hold
Yes,
on?
yes, I will. Yes.
So that is so exciting. I
Yes,
love that.
and this is a
news.
great project you guys can do at home with your kiddos if they're home for virtual Fridays like mine, and in the winter months. And we always love to find new uses for peanut butter. Now, Rice Krispie treats. Do you make Rice Krispie treats with marshmallows, or have you ever
Kelly
made
does
them
it
with
because she
peanut
hates
butter?
marshmallows.
I do it with both, I think. I've had it done with both.
I didn't know that you put marshmallows in Rice Krispie treats until I was an adult because my mom always made it with peanut butter.
Wait. So she substituted the marshmallow with peanut
one
butter?
more side.
So
There you go.
corn. Not cornstarch.
Corn syrup?
Corn syrup. Yeah, my mom's gonna laugh at me because I know she's watching.
Hi, Mom.
Corn syrup and peanut butter, not marshmallows, and it sticks together, and it's a healthy, amazing
All right.
treat.
Just in time to roll this big
Kelly,
old thing.
by the way, I made some peanut butter syrup that we put on corn chips.
Oh.
And that sounds, because I used the corn syrup, the peanut butter, and we made a little peanut butter mixture. That would be good in Rice Krispies.
That would be
That
good.
would be really good.
Oh, my
wow.
goodness, this is a big old pine
You're
cone.
gonna have some fat birds
Big old
at your
fat
home.
birds, yeah. And you know what? Even dogs can eat peanut butter.
Oh, yeah.
Like peanut butter.
Yes,
You know what? When I
absolutely.
run out of dog treats, you know what I give my dogs for treats? Just peanuts. Because they love peanuts.
Okay, and they just chew them?
That's a
Okay.
great.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a great substitute.
quite a
Jamie Johansen, thank you so much.
fun
From the
recipe.
Tailgate airs on
Thank
KOZL
you.
on
Sunday
nights.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harper. Okay, coming up is our Right This Minute, an extra video of the day. We'll be back. Kelly took everything in me not to get that peanut butter in your face. I was like,